So first and foremost, peace. This is Ballet Bullets. This is my first video, but I'm gonna get straight to the point. This is for if you have a Taurus GX4 XL 9mm pistol handgun, and I'm gonna show you how to disassemble it, clean it, and then put it back together. This isn't a review, so let's go ahead and get started. So just for YouTube, my gun is not loaded, nothing in the chamber, the magazine is here, no magazine here, boom, snap. We're good, we're clear, we are clear, right? So basically what we're gonna do, if you have the Taurus GX4 XL or the Taurus GX4 or even the Taurus GX4 XL Tauros, mechanically they all work the same. Now typically what you'll see is you'll have this kind of dot, and hopefully you can see it, this kind of like screw. This keychain that came with your gun, this is actually what you need to be using to do this. Right now it's at, it's vertical. All you need to do is put this key in there, or this key, turn it about 90 degrees. When you turn it 90 degrees, that slide is gonna come forward. So let me show you that again, just so you can have a actual take on it. So I'm gonna turn, and you should see this slide move a little bit forward, right? So here, did you see it move forward? You can see that it went forward because now there's a little space. So you wanna do that, press that trigger, and then slide it right off. It's super simple. So we're gonna put the lower part down, and now we're just left with the slide, the recoil spring, and the actual barrel itself. So what you want to do is here, this recoil spring sits inside of the barrel. It's like a groove right here. So what you want to do is you got to apply a little bit of pressure forward with that spring, and it'll just come out. You don't need to take the spring off. Don't even try. I don't even know if you can. I doubt if you can. Don't even try. So you take the spring off, sit it to the side. I'll sit it right here. And then you want to take the barrel out. All you got to do is slide it forward a little bit, lift up, and slide it out. I'll show you that again when you put it in. Start here. You want to slide it forward, pick it up a little bit, slide it forward, and then pull it straight back and out. So now you have the slide that you rack, right? That's this part. You have the barrel. This is what the bullet comes out of. And then you have the recoil spring. And then you have the lower, right? And that's really all you need to do to disassemble it. If you're going to field strip it, I was looking at the manual. I didn't see anywhere in there, maybe I overlooked it, them telling you to field strip it further than that. If you do it, it's at your own risk. You know how that goes with the warranty. So what we're gonna use is, I have two different brushes. I have one that I'll just like to go ahead and just kind of scrape everything. It's a soft brush, soft but yet a little sturdy brush. And then I have just a regular toothbrush that I actually dump into my bore cleaner and I use to actually clean the gun. So what I do typically first is I just take it and just kind of knock out any debris that could be there. I'm not like flexing while I'm doing it and putting it everything I got. I'm just, just wiping it down like you would brush your teeth, right? Just want to brush, get everything out, all the major debris that you can. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Pretty good. And then I like to just go ahead and get a patch real quick and just kind of get up anything. My gun, I took it to the range today. I shot probably like 50 rounds because I took my mom's with me for Mother's Day. So I was really focused on her. And if I shot my pistol, it was really, just to kind of give her some pointers and stuff like that. So I just take a patch, and just kind of run it through there real quick. Well, actually, we're going to do a clean on it, but I just like to kind of get out as much as I can before, right? We'll set that to the side. And then I like to do the same thing with my barrel. Just go ahead and brush it down, right? Brush it down. And really and truly, once you get the hang of this, you can do it in your sleep. Excuse me, I'm trying to sit down here. You can do it in your sleep, man. You can even start timing yourself, but it's really just 1, 2, 3, 4 parts that you got to take apart, really and truly. So I like to do that, and then same with my recoil spring. You know, just brush it, give it a good brushing. That's good. Kind of wipe it off, you know, a little bit. Same thing with my barrel. And I mean, it was dirty, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, and I was shooting federals through it. So, all right, now we have that. So what I'm using is some hopes, however you say it, bore cleaner. I just like to dip my brush in there. I don't need it super saturated, but I just take it, just give it a good brushing. This is like really the brushing part, right? And still, I'm not strong arming it or nothing like that, man. I'm just giving it a good brushing, and we're going to let it sit for like a minute or two, right? We're going to let it sit. Now, I'm paying close attention. I'm not intentionally trying to get any inside of that gap there. What I'm going to do in there is I'll show you that, but I'm just run a Q-tip through there and just get it out. I really don't want to get no liquid, no oil, no bore cleaner or nothing like that, but I know sometimes it may slip just from going over it, you know, so I just get a Q-tip and do it like that, right? But the goal is to not, you know, intentionally. And really and truly, I just go ahead and do the outside too, man. I mean, it's clean, but, you know, reciprocity and continuity, you know. Just want to make sure everything is clean. Kind of get everything done. Because, you know, at the end of the day, presentation is important too. You still want your gun, not just the inside to be clean, but you do want the outside to be clean as well. So we're going to do that. Same thing with the bore. Give it a good clean. And with the bore, Lord, with the good Lord, the barrel, I'm sorry, this is the barrel. We're going to give this a scrub. And then we're also going to run a wire brush through the inside just to get any debris on the inside, yeah. Give that, we're going to let that sit. We're going to do the same thing for this recoil spring. And really and truly, guys, like this is kind of like the bulk of it, honestly. This is really like the bulk of it. Give that a good wiping down. Boom. Now, while those are sitting and kind of just, you know, letting that bore cleaner do its thing, I'm going to take another drop hatch. And, of course, I can't fit this brush in my lower. I can a little bit, but it's just really, like, superficially on the top. I'm just, you know, it's not really dirty, but I'm going to still give it a good, you know, kind of gliding over. Take this patch. Run it through, kind of do my best to get down in the crooks and nannies. And, you know, I am peeling some stuff off. Not peeling, but getting some, you know, carbon buildup or, you know, whatever it's called, some powder from the bullets, you know, kind of in there. Get that in there, get that really good, and do my best. And then I'm going to run a Q-tip down there as well, too. And a lot of people, man, you know, they say, oh, man, don't use a Q-tip, man. Look, if that's what you got, that's what you got. And I'm going to show you the perfect solution if you feel like there's hair in there. This is it. Easy, right? So moving on, we're just going to take that. We're going to run, you know, this patch through there. Get this as best as possible. You know, boom. And what I like to do, instead of running that brush down there, I just like to take a Q-tip. And I like to dip it in my bore cleaner. And then just come in here, you know, wipe up along anything. Because, you know, as you can see, it can get dirty. It's not really a big deal. But I like my weapons to be clean, function optimally. And I will say this. What you can do typically on this gun, I'm not going to say this for every gun. But if you notice right here, once I pull the trigger, this kind of moves. You see that movement? That's good to do when you're cleaning this part, because right in here, right, you see what that space is covering? When you move it back, there's going to be some carbon buildup there. So just make sure you can just pull it back and just get that clean, and then you can let go of the trigger, right? So get that clean, let it go. Kind of get down in there, and then I'm going to go from the magazine carrier or the magazine port to, you know, clean under there as well too. So, you know, just, you know, getting as much as you can. And then I'm gonna go in, let that sit for a little bit. Go with the clean side. You never want to dip the dirty side back in your clean oil. So I'm gonna go with the clean side. I'm just coming here and just, you know, clean it out. Clean it out. I'm gonna do the same thing with my mags. I have one, two, three. I have I have 4 magazines for my GX4 XL, and that is 2 13 rounds and then 2 2-round mags. All right, so now we're gonna let that lower sit. Now to come back to these, we're gonna take a clean patch like this. We're just gonna dry it out, you know, dry it out. Do your best to get, if not all, as much as possible, that bore cleaner off, right? You want to get that off, because what's going to take its place in that is the actual lube. And the lube that I use is just some rim oil, right? I'll show you that. So if you want to kind of screenshot it from Remington, hopefully you can see it. Remington rim oil. We'll just do it like that. And hopefully, you know, if you need to, just pause the video, take a screenshot of it. So right now we're coming up on 11 minutes. Honestly, I would have kind of been done, but I'm, you know, taking some time to explain what I'm doing, because I know how hard it can be, and I know how detailed I was with trying to figure out exactly how to clean my weapons. But people are giving like short videos. They're doing it too fast. They got it at weird angles that you can't see. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, you guys can see this as best as possible. So once again, I'm just drawing this out the best that I can, trying to get in every crook and nanny. I'm gonna get a Q-tip. And like I said, remember that space right here? There's a space you can kind of go down, just make sure you get in there. Make sure, you know, you don't have nothing that don't need to be in there, right? Make sure you get in these grooves, right? You probably can't see it, but there's grooves inside of the slide. Make sure you get in those grooves, the tops and the bottoms of them. Right, it's just like when you're cleaning your rims on your car. You got to get like, it's like weird angles you got to get. It's the same thing with a firearm, specifically this one. Make sure you get in here where the recoil spring goes and where the barrel sits. Just dry it out, right? See, it's that carbon, it's that bore cleaner. Did its job. We're looking good. And then just go back and just dry it up. Dry it up, because we're gonna lube it up, and I'm gonna show you exactly where I lube it and how I lube it. Because yes, you want your gun to be oiled, specifically your handgun, but at the same time you don't want it to be over oiled, because that can attract dust and everything else. Now, what I'm gonna do specifically for the barrel, I am going to take a wire brush that will fit this barrel, 9mm. Typically I use the same one for my 380. And my 9mm fits fine. I'm gonna just screw it onto this extension, just like so. And you can get this at like Rural King or Harbor Freight, or just order a gun cleaning kit online, right? So I'm gonna dip this wire brush inside of my, well, I can't spill it over, my oil. Trust me, it's oil in here. And I'm gonna just run it through, right? Now, pay attention that I'm not going in from the front of the barrel. Never go in from the front of the barrel, because your luck might just be you go in, you mess up, you get flimsy with it, and you dent, you chip, you crack the crown of your barrel, right? You don't want that. So always go in from the back, push it straight through. I've seen some people, they kind of just chick, 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 like that. I don't do that, just because, you know, when I'm coming back, I don't want nothing to happen. So it may take a little bit more time. So I'm going to just go straight through all of that good stuff. I'm going to run it like maybe 4 or 5 times. Good. I'm going to take this off, and then I'm going to get my bore brush. Get some of that cleaner on there. Run it through. And I like doing this part because you kind of hit a whistle. It's like a, you hear it? Let me see if I can hear it. Listen. You heard it? Like, yeah. But if you couldn't hear it, it was there. So I'm going to run that through like 2 or 3 times. I know that did its job. Now, there is an extension that I use. Where are you? It's not you. Oh, here it is. It's this. Almost like a needle that you can kind of thread. What I'm going to thread through it, though, is not a needle. I'm going to thread a patch through it, right? Because, you know what? Just like how we did the slide, we need to dry the inside of that out, right? So I'm going to take this patch, this thread, put it back on that same extension, and I'm going to run it through just so we can get it out. See? That was still left up in there. See that black stuff? That was still left up in there. I'm not going to reuse it. Trust me, patches are cheap. Don't use the same patch. Get a new patch. It's okay. Patches, you can get like 500 for like 10, 13, maybe 14 bucks, depending on who it is, what brand it is. Good. That's good enough for me. I'm going to just run it through twice. If it's still a lot dirty, if it's coming out like this, you need to run it through another time, or you probably need to go back to that brush and get some carbon get some of that carbon out. So I'm going to run that. Now I'm going to wipe my barrel off because we haven't wiped it off yet. I'm going to wipe it off. Crooked nanny. Get everywhere and I need to, right? Because now we're going to take another patch and we are going to lube that patch up and we're going to run it through the bore because we want the inside of our bore. I keep saying bore. Inside of our barrel. I'm sorry, y'all. Inside of our barrel. I just took my hunter's license. I just got my hunter's license, and you know you got to do that hunter's education stuff, and a lot of stuff was talking about bore, and I'm sorry, so that's stuck in my mind. But I'm gonna take the patch, get this oil, douse that down, not too heavy, right? I'm gonna take my barrel, slide that through there. We're good. I don't see any obstructions in there. It's always good to kind of inspect your barrel, see if you got any dents, any chips. You should see like the spiral kind of groove lines in there. That's what actually spins the bullet. If I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure somebody in the comments will tell me. So, yeah, we got that done. We're going to set that to the side. Now it's time for the spring. So we're just going to wipe this spring down like this. Nothing too crazy on the spring. Spring is actually pretty good and will probably usually be like the cleanest part. But now, this is how I oil my gun. I've dried. Oh, actually, I have not dried everything off. Let me get a new patch because we need to dry off the lower. So we're going to get some more patches. And let's do here. Hopefully y'all still with me. We're just going to dry off as much as we can in here, man. Good down. Move that trigger again. Make sure we get that carbon buildup. And you'll see what I mean when you kind of pull that trigger. You'll see it move and you'll see like, oh yeah, it was some dirt over there, right? Try to get as much as you can. Get in those rails where that rail slides at. Get up in there really good. We're going to get a toothpick. We're going to kind of get down in those crooks and crannies, right? You see all of those little crooks and crannies in there? You're going to get up in there. Get in there and clean that up, man. Especially, and typically me, you know, there's a debate on how often you clean your weapons. This is my EDC. This is my everyday carry. I carry my Taurus GX4 XL 9mm every day. And for it to be my carry gun, I'm making sure that it stays clean and it stays in working order. So I don't care if I shoot 20 rounds through it. I don't care if I shoot 100 rounds through it. I don't care if if I'm on a session and I'm putting at least 600-700 rounds through it. If I'm just like really in a groove and I'm not fatigued yet, I don't care how much. Every time I go to the range, I'm cleaning it. And I'm typically like that with all of my guns. but more specifically with my EDC, which means, if you didn't know, EDC means everyday carry. So this is good. This is good. We're good. We're good with that. Now, how I lube my weapons. I take some here because this is not an AR-15. AR-15s really like oil like that. So I'm going to just take, and I'm going to just rub it over. We're going to let that sit because, of course, there's some excess on there. We'll come back for that. Get the recoil spring. Like I said, nothing crazy. We're going to do the slide. Pay attention. You see how it's like rub marks? That's specifically where you need to be putting oil. Any place where the gun rubs, you need that lubed up. It don't have to be heavy, nothing like that. But you see, even on the inside, right there. Wait, let me go. Okay, right, wait, yeah. No, right here. Right there. You see that? Make sure you get oil in there. I'm going to just oil it down. Oil it down. Paying special attention to the rails, right? Because you don't want too much oil in there because, like I said, it will attract dust, grime, and stuff like that. So, you know, make sure you try to kind of get everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. Looking good. I'm going to take a Q-tip, kind of wrap it around just so I can kind of get in these holes. Oil it. These holes right here. Oil it. Boom. Where the recoil spring is. And then I'm going to just take that dry end of that same Q-tip, kind of rub it. Kind of spread it a little bit, you know. And would you look at that? I don't have any hair follicles from the Q-tip that is being left behind. Good golly. Man, that's crazy, right? Crazy. Now remember, I'm not going in that space. You see that gap? I'm not putting nothing in there. All right? Focus on these where I see rub marks. I don't want nothing to rust, right? So we got that. And look, man, I'm going to take one more clean patch and just kind of get some of this excess off like that. We're looking good. And y'all, really and truly, that's really it, man. I'm going to take a microfiber rag and I'm going to just kind of clean the slide, the actual slide. I'm not taking none of the oil off. I'm just cleaning down the slide, right? From just picking it up and touching it and stuff like that, grease marks. Now, to reassemble it, right? This is how it would sit on the weapon. I got my rear sights here. I got my front sight here, right? If you flip it over, boom, the front sight is still on this side, rear sight is still on this side. I'm going to take my barrel. I'm going to put my barrel in first. So I'm going to angle it down into that bottom hole. You got two holes, one at the top, one at the bottom. I'm going for the bottom one. So it needs to be facing like this with the little pointy end up. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Angle it down. Slide it. Just like this. Set it back. Set it back. Right? I'll do that again. Remember how we took it off? We angled it forward. Picked it up. Pulled it back. We're going to reverse it. Angle it down. Push it forward. Pull it back. Right? Now, your recoil spring. You got two sides of your recoil spring. You got this kind of squarish shape side, and then you have the circle shape side. The circle shape side is what's going to go in that top hole right there. So we're going to put it in just like how we did the slide. Angle it, put it down in there. Now it's going to sit right here, but you see it's not flush down. We need to push it forward and let it rest in the lip. So you got to put some pressure in it and you'll get it. And once you press it forward, it'll sit snug in the lip. Right? Let me see if I can get a clearer angle of it. Boom. So that way you move it, it's not going to move. Yeah? So I'll do that one more time. Take it apart. Pushed it forward. Sorry. There we go. Pushed it forward. Now, put it back in. Here. We need to get it down. So I'm gonna push it forward. Sorry, push it forward in to compress it, and then push it down. So compress it, then push down, and it's gonna sit in that lip. And there you go. Now, we're gonna flip it over. Boom. Looks just like how the slide is, right? We flipped it over. Rear sights here. Rear sights are here. Front sight is here. I'm gonna take my lower, and there's rails that it's gonna guide through. You see those rails? It's like a puzzle. So you gotta match up these holes inside with the rails, right? So you slide it on there, just like this. See? See if I can get a better angle. Slide it on there, just like that, right? Slide it on there. It's only one way to do it. And then you want to rack it all the way back, right? Rack it all the way back. Once you rack it all the way back, let it go. Once you rack it all the way back, that screw is going to go back to vertical. Because remember, we turned it horizontal. Once you rack it back, it go back vertical. Now, we're going to do a systems check just to make sure the gun can fire. Once again, it's unloaded. It's unloaded. We're going to pull the trigger, right? Pull trigger. We're going to keep the trigger down, rack it back. Now we're just going to hear the click. Yep, we're good. We're good, right? Now for the magazine. I'm not going to take apart my magazine. I didn't see it in the manual to take apart. I'm sure you can, and it's pretty easy. There's a button down here at the bottom. This is not that type of video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Q-tip, get some of that bore cleaner, because it works really good on that, and I'm going to just kind of scrub it off. You're going to have a couple of passes, right? Sometimes you might have to push down the magazine to kind of get a better angle so you can get as much as that carbon off, especially right here in the front. You see, once that bore cleaner, it'll start disintegrating it, and it's like real easy to get up. I just like my stuff to just look good. I like the black and yellow, so I really want that to pop regardless. And then I'm not really gonna wait for this. I'm gonna just, go ahead and clean it with my rag. Clean that. Boom, 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 boom. Clean it. And now, for the last part, I'm going to just take my cloth, clean my slide, man. Because I want to get all that grease and oil and stuff off the outside of it, And boom, man. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. One thing I do want to do is get on that serial number and just clean off that serial number. Because if you look back on that serial number, it will get dirty. So, just make sure you take some time to clean that. Right? And always remember, whether you left-handed or right-handed, trigger discipline, right? If you're not firing, just go ahead and take your finger off the trigger, have it here. If I had it the other way, it would have been here, right? So, trigger discipline. You don't have to be you don't have to be older to know that, but it's just a good way to practice, right? Good to practice. Good way to practice. All right. And then that's going to be it, man. So we're just going to put this in and boom. Lock the back because the magazine is in, and you have just field stripped, clean, and then reassembled your Taurus GX4 XL. All right. Leave me some comments. Is there anything that you do differently with yours? Let me know in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. If you enjoyed the video, of course, give me a like. This is a brand new channel. Subscribe. That will help out a lot. I'm new to YouTube, so they told me that pretty much, man, hey, ask them to subscribe. That really helps out the channel. Share this with a friend. Give a thumbs up and all of that good stuff, man. Once again, this is Ballet and Bullets, the official Chill City, or just Chill City. Y'all stay safe, stay wise, know the laws in your country, and always practice firearm discipline. Peace.